I don't know if putting a lens flare works and for this. So in the last video, I've shown how to set up your SWF backgrounds and etc. But now I'll demonstrate how you build your own maps on After Effects. Usually I have a flat floor tile that stretches forever for my characters, but that's just like having an Omega on every single Smash game. No, I want to have some variety at least. So we're gonna get a ground from Maple Maps. Once you've found a nice looking place, head over to the resources of Maplemation. The Goats Farm 2.0 thread is really nice for getting all those extra tiles and objects. Just make sure both areas you've selected are in fact a match. Now that we've got our resources, we can finally begin. Just like in part 1, import your PNGs and SWFs. Move the map to align with your characters. Then you can finally add your camera. Like a pro. So now it's time to start the build. If you don't know what the map's supposed to look like, just search it up on Google, like an example picture. Like Maple. Most maps you download will have a color strip of the sky. So if you got one, you can just stretch it out to fill that black area, but make sure it's not a 3D layer. And if you don't have a strip, you can just make the sky in After Effects. To do this, create a new solid by right-clicking an empty space in Layers. Any color works. Search through your effects and presets for a ramp. Then drag and drop it on the solid. Ramp just makes the layer a gradient. Then you can adjust the colors to match the sky's color. To see the effects the layers has, it should be a window that's like right next to your library window, or like as a separate tab. I forgot to mention a couple of other useful options you can do in After Effects. You can check this box over here to view the layer by itself, and you can click on this drop down to adjust the preview quality. Lower quality means it'll run faster when you're editing it, and this won't affect your final render. Alright, back to the maps. We want to start with the farthest object first, so in this case, the mountains. So we add them to the layers as 3D, and then go to transform. We mentioned how the Z-axis pushes or pulls the objects. So if we increase this third number over here, like this, we can push back the mountains properly, and then scale it up for a bigger size. Yeek. So it may look the same, but now your mountains are actually pushed back, so it's giving that full parallax effect, which is pretty good. You can extend the mountains by using CC Reptile. It's another awesome effect, and adjusting these values makes the layer repeat in that direction. Just make sure that it's above any other effect to fix possible gaps or errors. If your far backgrounds get a bit pixely, you can also look and apply the effect Fast Blur. Then add a little blur to smoothen it out. Now we look for the next farthest object and insert that one. We then once again push it back with the Z-axis, but not as far as the other one. Nothing else is new, so just recall what I've taught you in this video, and then you can start setting up and building a map. And make sure to have each background object closer each time. Use reference images from Google if you're having trouble, to get the gist of it. So if some objects cut off too soon at the bottom, you can add a second Reptile, but change the tiling to checker flip V and then extend it downwards. Sometimes it won't work though, because there will be this line in the middle, and it's caused by the sprite not cutting off dead pixels, so it kind of fades out into PNG. You can fix this by doing the good old copy and paste and then flip it over methods. Or you can just, edit sprite. So now you can just get creative and then start building the map, just like how you build it in Flash or something. I don't know how you build it, you can just try. So this is just a personal tip or move I use. Because it's a forest, I don't really want to see the bottom of the trees. And I also don't want to see it stretching down forever with Reptile. So for a situation like this, I just get a solid black layer, and then I make it 3D and then I squishify that thing. Then I fast blur it. And then I set it between the floor and the first set of trees in that Z-axis. It's not really a good fix, but I bet you can find a better way. One final thing we could add is some foreground layers, which is just like making the backgrounds but opposite direction, hence foreground. It looks better once we add a little blur and decrease its brightness. But brightness and colors is what we'll discuss in the next video.